From Los Angeles and across the Americas, this is the Latin Rock Revolution. Tonight, in performance, the premier bands de rock en español. From Mexico City, Los Jaguares. From Miami, Colombia, Shakira and chart-topping Maná. In San Diego, Café Tacuba and LA's own groove ensemble, Osomatli. And on the streets from downtown Los Angeles, the legendary Los Lobos, plus La Ley, El Tri, and the incomparable Alejandra Guzmán. And now, from El Auditorio Nacional en México DF, please welcome Jaguares.
It's been said that rock is dead in the year 2000. Boring, corporate, all hype, no soul.
But rock's not dead, my friends. It's very much alive all over the world.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Sanchez, along with Jose Solano, and welcome to the Latin Rock Revolution. Tonight, rock and roll is alive and well right here on UPN Channel 13. And rock and roll is always alive and well right here in the Guitar Center.
As we wrap up this incredible 10-hour celebration of our heritage, we want to give you something you'll never forget. If you already love rock and pop en español, kick back and get ready for the greatest rock and roll show ever.
And if you're new to this music, open up your musical soul. Tonight might remind you of the first time you heard Hendrix, Nirvana, or even the Beatles. Mind-blowing and liberating.
Which is what rock and roll is all about, right?
Right.
So, here we go on a journey into the heart of rock en español.
You're going to meet the artists who are making history and see most of them in concert. Many of them taped right here in the Southland.
One of my favorites, pop diva Shakira from Colombia, is coming up. But first, a little respect for the legends from south of the border, El Tri.
That's right, Jose. They've been at it for more than 30 years now, and their purity of purpose should be an inspiration to artists all over the world. Gustavo Rex has their story.
Searching for artists. El Tri. Downloading. Search complete.
The legendary Mexican rock band El Tri, led by Alejandro Lora, was founded over 3 decades ago. El Tri, known for being the first native Mexican band to play rock en español in Mexico, started singing in English. And by the way, their name El Tri is derived from their original name, Three Souls in My Mind.
Pues me da mucho gusto después de 30 años poder seguir rock and rolleando y formar parte del movimiento que yo inventé.
Their main influence has been the Rolling Stones. Their followers are compared to Grateful Dead heads, but like Frank Sinatra, Alejandro and El Tri did it my way.
Espero que Dios me preste vida para seguir rock and rolleando siquiera unos 1500 años más y cada vez comunicar más directamente el sentir y la forma de pensar de la gente a través de mis canciones.
El Tri's blues-based rock has carried them through 30-plus albums in 30 years, to 5 gold and 1 double gold albums, not to mention 2 Grammy nominations. Opening for the Rolling Stones and playing for 300,000 fans at the Mexican Woodstock, and as Jerry Garcia once said, what a long, strange trip it's been. El Tri was multicultural before anyone ever thought of the term, and crossed over about 10 years before Ricky Martin was born. El Tri and Alex Lora take advantage of their great influence on the Mexican psyche. He confronts the society with questions about wealth and poverty, abandoned children, corruption, and the handicapped. By giving away wheelchairs to children at their shows, they've done much to raise the public's concern about the disadvantaged. El Tri may be funny and controversial, but their sincerity would shock many cynical rockers. With Carlos Santana handling the guitar solos, El Tri honored the Virgin of Guadalupe recently. They are more than survivors. El Tri is triumphant, proof of the staying power of rock and roll in any language.
De parte mía, de parte de mis compañeros, de parte del Tri de México, les deseo lo mejor. Que los atropelle la dicha, los aplaste la felicidad y los arrolle la alegría. Recuerden, el rock and roll es un deporte, practíquenlo. ¡Y que viva rock and roll!
El Tri has been around since the 60s. Shakira is the youngest artist on our show tonight. What do they have in common besides their language? How about total commitment to their vision?
Los han visto por ahí, los han visto en los tejados, dando vueltas en París, condenando en los juzgados, con la nariz empolvada, de corbata de blue jeans. Los han visto en las portadas todas, sin más nada que decir. pasa si soy yo? Sí, ¿qué pasa si soy yo? La que toca esta guitarra, la que canta esta canción, la que canta esta canción. Los han visto de rodillas, sentados en puntillas, parados tomando lecciones en todas las posiciones, pegando en las iglesias, hasta ofreciendo conciertos. Los han visto en los hoteles todos, repartiendo ministerios. ¿Dónde están los ladrones? ¿Dónde está el asesino? Quizá ya revolcándose en el patio del vecino. Uy, ¿qué pasa si son ellos? ¿Y qué pasa si soy yo? Porque tú que se la que canta esta canción.
You do love Shakira, don't you?
I do. I love to dance, Lauren.
Down, mi amigo. I promise we'll have more Shakira throughout the show, so you need to pace yourself.
Okay. When we come back, Los Lobos of East Los Angeles. They've been to the top with Grammys and gold records.
Allá en la tierra de mis padres, allá en la tierra de los dioses.
We've been together so long that we've learned to appreciate so many different styles of music that we grew up listening to.
After Los Lobos, the reigning kings of rock and roll, Maná.
No se sabe dónde, de dónde ha salido y a dónde ha ido, ahí es un misterio.
So keep on rocking with Latin Rock Revolution.
Welcome back to Latin Rock Revolution on UPN 13. I'm Lauren Sanchez along with my leading man, Jose Solano. And Jose, I have to ask you, did you ever play the guitar?
Absolutely. When I was 7 years old, I used to play that guitar like Elvis.
What happened to the guitar?
My parents sold it in a garage sale, and look, Ricky Martin's really lucky that I didn't continue, you know, 'cause
Okay, well, everyone in rock and roll was there at one point, playing for free or for six-packs, because they believe in the music and in their dream. Los Lobos paid their dues, and eventually it all happened for them.
They're considered one of America's most distinctive and original bands. Formed in 1973 at Garfield High School in East LA, Los Lobos' eclectic style draws equally from rock, Tex-Mex, country, folk, R&B, as well as traditional Latin music.
After 25 years, they continue to find new ways to refine and expand their sound, a sound that is rooted deeply in two different cultures. Searching for artists. Los Lobos. Downloading. Search complete.
Los Lobos received their first big break, ironically, in the 1980s punk scene.
We started out playing the Mexican music in the colleges and the community functions. We ended up in restaurants, you know, playing the happy hours after a while because that was the only gigs that were left. We got an opportunity to play for some punk shows, and that more or less led to where we're at now. So I think it worked out okay.
While they were shaking the rafters in punk strongholds, the old neighborhood in East LA had trouble adjusting.
They were going on but just by appearance, and I guess they figured that the next time they saw us, we'd have like mohawks and stuff. But, you know. They realized that there was something really real going on there. At least that's what we discovered.
Released in 1983, with new member Steve Berlin on board, the traditional two-step single Anselma on And a Time to Dance brought Los Lobos their first Grammy.
We're all in there for one reason, that's to make, to get music back after the 70s of, kind of formulated, rock and roll, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just a lot of young people taking music back, and we're just kind of part of it, in our own way.
Concerned that the enormous smash hit from the soundtrack for La Bamba in 1988 would land them in an artistic void, they quickly returned to their musical roots with La Pistola y el Corazón. This would bring them their second Grammy.
I think it has a lot to do with vulnerability, showing that, hey, this is what we are, being brave enough to say, this is what we do. We're not trying to, repackage this in any way. We're not trying to get anything over on you guys. This is what we do. And I think they appreciate that. They appreciate that you're being sincere and honest about who you are.
With a third Grammy under their belt for the movie soundtrack Desperado, Los Lobos was hungry for new musical challenges.
Kiko and the lavender moon not playing, makes believe nobody can see.
The album Kiko and the Lavender Moon, with the help of producer Mitchell Froome and Chad Blake, allowed Los Lobos to take a more informal, impressionistic approach to their music. The majority of the album was written while recording in the studio.
And it seems that it's just more spontaneous this way. It's just, things just come out a little better. You don't have to think about stuff so much. And whatever happens on that track, if you get that little magic about it, you grab it and you just keep it.
There's kind of like a reckless sort of quality to it. We try to reveal the process of the recording.
When they're spliced together, there's a splicing.
In their most recent effort this time, Los Lobos managed to keep their feet firmly planted in the streets of East LA, maintaining a sense of diversity and enthusiasm without duplicating previous efforts.
We've been together so long that we've learned to appreciate so many different styles of music that we grew up listening to, that after so many years, I think we've got finally got our own brand of music. So, we like to just call it Los Lobos music, so,
Cuando canto esta canción, baila, baila mi cariño, baila, baila ese danzón.
As you may know, Cesar Rosa's wife was kidnapped in February. Police suspect foul play and have made an arrest, but there has not been a resolution yet.
Our prayers are with Cesar. The band has been a refuge for him, and the band and Cesar are glad right now to have the outlet of performing until this tragedy resolves itself.
Now, we caught up to Los Lobos at Fiesta Broadway last weekend. They love to play for their local fans and do so many times each year.
placer a mí me ha dado. Vamos a bailar. Oye Marisela, vamos a gozar esta bomba negra. Vamos a bailar. Oye Marisela, vamos a gozar esta bomba negra. Yo les canto con sus sierras y sus santos. Hay un placer a mí me ha dado. Vamos a bailar. Oye Marisela, vamos a gozar esta bomba negra. Vamos a bailar. Oye Marisela, vamos a gozar esta bomba negra. Ay, la, ay, la, 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 ay, la, 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 ay, la, la, la,
The Latin rock revolution has just begun. Los Lobos will be back, Shakira will be back, but coming up next is the hottest act in rock and roll right now, Maná.
hay una luz en tus ojos vaciando, como estrella que brilla de más.
And more local heroes, Oza Motley, when Latin rock revolution continues.
Welcome back to Latin Rock Revolution. I'm Jose Solano with Lauren Sanchez, and we are so lucky to be presenting the best of rock en español on our show tonight.
Now, some will say Shakira is number one, like our friend Jose here, or Jaguares, but nobody can deny that Maná, with their huge record sales and sold-out shows across North and South America, just about rule the roost here and now.
Oh, they're so talented. If you've never encountered Maná, check it out, because most people put them right up there with the top pop and rock groups in all the world.
Searching for artists. Maná. Downloading. Search complete.
Maná. The height of cool in the rock en español scene didn't feel too cool 20 years ago. This band, like rock en español pioneers El Tri, first sang in English.
We're Maná. We're a rock band from Guadalajara, Mexico.
They first hit the stage as the Green Hats, later translated to Los Sombreros Verdes. Gigs were scarce, the boys slept in their cars, and they were paid with a case of beer on more than one occasion. But 2 decades later, a multi-billion-dollar beer company has selected Maná to be spokesman for their product.
Calorcito, ¿no?
With their distinctive mix of alternative rock, Maná has now gained broad international appeal. In 1993, as they played to huge audiences throughout South America, it was clear that they had done what no other Latin rockers had: crossed borders.
Déjame entrar en la alberca de tus ojos. Déjame entrar en la alberca de tu ombligo. Con dinero y sin dinero, dame siempre lo que quiero.
Historically, only native artists had success in Chile, Ecuador, Peru, and other South American countries. But South America was only the first continent on Maná's hit list. In the 90s, mainstream rock media heard the distant thunder. Rolling Stone magazine, Time, and People magazine announced their arrival, and MTV and Billboard Awards recognized their artistry. Polestar, with a cover story, revealed what millions of fans already knew. Maná was one of the top grossing concert acts in the world.
¡Están calientes! Hay una luz en tus ojos vaciando, como estrella que brilla de más.
Fool in the Rain. This song is a very Latinish type of a song that Led Zeppelin did. And since the kind of music we play is like reggae rock, Latin fusion with pop rock, well, we thought it would go along with the way we play in our style of music.
As the only rock en español group on the Led Zeppelin tribute album, Economium, Maná hit the road for their first significant U.S. tour. From New York to L.A., they played all the major markets, were heard by over 300,000 fans, and scored a huge success. The significance of Maná's breakthrough is most strongly felt by other Latin rock and rolleros. Now it can be said that commercial acceptance will follow artistic accomplishment.
Una mujer hermosa, la más primorosa de ojitos negros de piel gitana.
We've got an exclusive acoustic performance by Maná a little later in the show, so stay tuned for that.
But right now, the most fun you can have, Jose, with your clothes on, from Los Angeles, California, recorded at the University of San Diego just last month, a 10-man party named after the god of dance, Ozo Motley.
Everybody jump! Go, 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 go.
Como ves, la historia no es como crees. Como ves, como ves. Como ves, la historia no es como crees. Como ves, Cuba y África, su hermano, con todo mi corazón. Cuba y África, su hermano, vive su dolor. Que no me dan su espíritu. San Diego, are you with us? Everybody jump! Go, 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 go. Como ves, la historia no es como crees. Como ves, como ves, la historia no es como crees. Como ves, Cuba y África, su hermano, con todo mi corazón. Cuba y África, su hermano, vive su dolor. Quiero besar tu espíritu. Everybody descansa. Everybody jump. Go, 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 go,
As Carlos said, Oso Matli is the future of music. But what is the past of rock en español? Lauren Sanchez will put us in the time machine, back to the Mexican Woodstock. And we'll meet some of the pioneers, including a 17-year-old kid from Pacoima who rocketed up the charts the 1958 Latin rock revolution. We'll be back with that and much, much more. Welcome back to Latin Rock Revolution. I'm Jose Solano. I think that the tie that binds all rock and roll, no matter where it originates, is the rebellious spirit of youth. Rock en Español was born over 40 years ago when Latin artists covered early hits by Elvis Presley and Little Richard in Español. Performers such as Los Locos del Ritmo, Cesar Costa, and Enrique Guzman built the foundation for the house we're living in now. Lauren has more.
It took Rock en Español a few years before they found their own voice, its own voice. They were just doing Spanish versions of Anglo hits because that's what the record companies wanted.
In the United States, the 16-year-old Mexican-American rocker shot up the charts in the summer of 1958. With his own unique sound, Richie Valens broke through the conventional wisdom of the 50s when American teenagers rocked out to the Spanish lyrics of La Bamba. Throughout the late 60s, Latin rock suffered many setbacks.
The students that started the uprising in Mexico were very much in touch with what's going on in the rest of the world.
In Latin America, the rock and rollers were outcasts, banned from state-controlled radio and TV. In many countries, rock was seen as the devil's music. Fans and musicians were routinely hassled and arrested. Shockingly, in 1968, a police riot at a student demonstration at Tlatelolco Square in Mexico City resulted in dozens of deaths. Rebellious youth got the message, and rock en español was forced underground. One of the key factors to the success rock en español is currently enjoying was the acclaimed rock legend Carlos Santana attained. He proved that rock music with a Latin context could win a large audience.
I think Carlos Santana, in a way, lucked out because he was able to avoid the narrow categories that our artists are going through right now.
Came of that era, among them El Tri, Three Souls in My Mind. I think that was the first group that really spoke the language of the working class.
The increasing popularity of groups like Soda Stereo, Fito Páez, and Maldita Vecindad slowly made inroads with record sales and in concerts in Latin America. Like El Tri, Caifanes created songs that involved the cultural history of Mexico. Their first single sold over 500,000 copies. Success of rock en español could no longer be ignored. Rock en español's current popularity may seem to be an overnight success. However, rock and roll has been around from the very early days of rock and roll. Unfortunately, after 40 years, it's only now finding an audience outside of Latin America.
I've become an incredible fan of this music precisely because it is, to my mind, the only quote-unquote rock music out there today that still has that original passion of what rock and roll is all about.
The freshness of today's sound, the unbridled musical expression, harkens back to the early days of rock and roll when legends emerged from garage bands and tiny little clubs all around the world.
You have a very powerful movement of rock in Japan, China, Africa, Northern Africa, South America, and they all sing in their own language. They all have and share the same passion and love for the music. So it's just the language of the world, right, I think, now.
Okay, Jose, she's in the next segment.
Who?
Your girlfriend.
You mean Shakira? I do love her. How great is she in concert?
innovative bands in the world, Cafe Tacuba. When Latin Rock Revolution continues.
Lauren, we've got this groovy axe for one of our viewers.
I love it. El Pollo Loco and the Guitar Center are sponsoring a little giveaway. So come over to our website, upn13.com, and you could be the winner.
As you can see, we're getting all of our artists to sign. Right there are the guys from Cafe Tacuba and Los Lobos.
And speaking of Cafe Tacuba, they've been compared to the Beatles. I mean, no one really knows exactly what they'll do next, but we do know one thing for sure. It'll be provocative and it'll rock. From Mexico City and recorded live in concert at UC San Diego last month, Cafe Tacuba.
Ya chale chango chilang, que chava chamba te chutas, no checan dar de tacuche, y chale con la charola, tan choncho como una chinche, macha con pera paduca, con fusca con cachiforra, te pasa dar de barura, mejor que me eche una chela, y chancho chufi una chava, chambeando de chapirete, me sobra chupi
Si choco saco chipote, la chota no es muy mulacha, chimeando a los que machucan se ven de su talacha. De noche caigo en un balón, manches dice la chana, a choro del teporocho, chiflo pasa la pacha. Pachuco, choros y chundo, chichiflas y malapachas. Acá lo choco y arriba y bala, y cabra. Mejor yo me echo una chela y ya se enchufa una chava, chambeando de chapirete, me sobra chupe pacha. Miñero mata la bacha y canta, su chola vive de chochos, de chino, churri y garnachas. Pachuco, cholos y churros, chichiflas y balapachas. Acá los chopis arriba y bailan tibiritábala. Pachuco, cholos y churros, chichiflas y balapachas. Acá los chopis arriba y bailan tibiritábala. Y bailan tibiritábala, y bailan tibiritábala. Danzando de arriba abajo, acá la chilanga banda. Chichi si me la recuerdan, cacacha y se les retacha.
If you can judge someone by the company she keeps, Shakira is ready to break out big time. She's been working with Emilio Estefan, Gloria's husband and hitmaker, on her English language album. And Freddie DeMann, Madonna's manager, is now guiding her career. But remember, they chose Shakira. Listen up and learn why.
Searching for artist. Shakira. Downloading. Search complete.
Shakira. In Arabic, her name means full of favor. In the world of show business, it means next big thing. This 23-year-old Colombian native is indeed blessed, but she's also got a talent for hard work.
I started dancing when I was 4 years old. I wrote my first song when I was 8, and I decided that I wanted to be a singer for the rest of my life when I was 10 years old. So I think music is my passion.
Shakira was signed to a record contract at 13, and Colombia has been mad for her ever since. She was designated her country's goodwill ambassador, starred in a wildly popular telenovela, and was even granted an audience with El Papa. And now her latest effort, ¿Dónde están los ladrones? Guided by Uber producer Emilio Estefan, the album earned a Grammy nomination earlier this year and is the artist's most mature work to date.
I think I was really insistent with myself, and I didn't record any song until I was completely satisfied.
The hard work continues to pay off as Shakira's Amphibia tour winds its way around the world, collecting new fans and rave reviews along the way. One of her greatest admirers, her new manager, Freddie Demand. His only other client, she has just one name too, Madonna.
Te regalo mi cintura y mis labios para cuando quieras besar. Te regalo mi locura y las pocas neuronas que quedan ya. Mis zapatos desteñidos, el diario en el que escribo, te doy hasta mis suspiros, pero no me vayas más, porque eres tú mi sol, la fe con que vivo, la potencia de mi voz, los pies con que camino, eres tú, amor, mis ganas de reír, adiós que no sabré decir, porque nunca podré vivir sin ti. Si algún día decidieras alejarte nuevamente de aquí, cerraría cada puerta para que nunca pudieras salir. Te regalo mis silencios, te regalo mi nariz, yo te doy hasta mis huesos, pero quédate aquí, porque eres tú mi sol, la fe con que vivo, la potencia de mi voz, los pies con que camino, eres tú, amor, mis ganas de reír, adiós que no sabré decir, porque nunca pude vivir sin ti. sé que no vendrás, todo lo que fue, el tiempo lo dejará atrás. Sé que no regresarás, lo que nos pasó no repetirá jamás. 1000 años no me alcanzarán para borrarte y olvidar. Y ahora estoy aquí, queriendo convertir los campos en ciudad, buscando el cielo con el mar. Sé que te dejé escapar, sé que te perdí y nada podrá ser igual. 1000 años pueden alcanzar para que puedas ver todo más. Estoy aquí, viéndote, tocando entre puros y barrenos, entre puros y recuerdos que no puedo comprender. Estoy viendo, sintiéndome, cambiando mi tiempo de cara mía, esta noche por olvidar que nada le puedo yo hacer. Las cartas que escribí nunca las envié, no querrás saber de mí. No puedo entender lo tonta que fui, es cuestión de tiempo. 1000 años con otros 1000 son suficientes para amar. Estoy aquí, viéndote, tocándote, separamos entre cosas y recuerdos que no puedo comprender. Estoy viendo, siéndome, cambiando mi pie por la cara mía, esta noche por el calle. Estoy aquí, viéndote, tocándote. Estoy viendo, siéndome, cambiando mi pie por la cara mía, esta noche por el calle. Ya piensas algo en mí. Sabes que sigo esperándote. Estoy aquí, viéndote, tocándote. Estoy aquí, viéndote, tocándote. Estoy viendo, siéndome. Estoy aquí, viéndote, tocándome, recuerdos y cuadernos entre cosas que no bosque. Estoy viendo, siéndome, cambiando mi tiempo la cara mía, esta noche por el calle. Gracias.
Coming up next on Latin Rock Revolution, Lele. They own #1 for 2 months.
Sentimiento de allí, nada voy a arrastrar desde aquí, solo voy a vivir.
Also later on, Alejandra Guzman, the bad girl of rock en español. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Latin Rock Revolution. I'm Lauren Sanchez, along with the one and only Jose Solano.
In the late 1980s, rock en español in Chile and Argentina really began to take root. After years of suppression by the authorities and the state-controlled media, the music began to branch out.
That's right. In 1989, 5 young dreamers came together in Santiago, Chile to create the unique sound of La Ley.
Searching for artist.
La Ley.
Downloading. Search complete.
We used to play in a little joint called Café del Cerro. That's like the mountains cafe. We had a full house with 300 people. That was really fun. And people started to like what we used to do.
After producing their own independent album, La Ley began to tour Chile in the early 90s. Their dramatic live shows attracted hordes of dedicated fans.
They never really imagined that we could have a concert like the one we had in 1994 in Chile. We had a very big show in front of 80,000 people, and it was very touchy. It was amazing.
After traveling to Los Angeles in 1994 to work in the famed record plant on their 3rd album, tragedy struck. A fatal motorcycle accident took the life of the group's founder and songwriter Andrés Bové.
I remember that a lot of people in the media in our country, when they found out that Andrés died, they wanted to bury us. They said the band is finished, and so back then we decided to work on an album that was dedicated to his memory, Invisible. And actually I think Andrés was with us through all that time.
With songs in French, English, and Spanish, Invisible helped establish La Ley's appeal in international markets.
And we believe music is a universal language. Our parents used to listen to Elvis, to Chuck Berry, without understanding the words, but they really felt the vibe. We believe that rock and roll doesn't belong anymore to the United States or the UK anymore. There are great bands in South America also.
Lenny Kravitz, Fish, Roots, the Dave Matthews Band, Wu-Tang Clan, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Santana, a punk rock, a hip hop, a swing, a Scott tour. What diverse groove ensemble has opened for more kinds of music acts than they have members? 10 in all right now.
Well, they're from LA, and Carlos Santana calls them the future of music. They call themselves Ozo Motley.
Searching for artist. Ozo Motley.
Yeah, party people.
Downloading.
Here we go.
Search complete.
Since critics, the music industry, and Hollywood began to take notice a few years back, Ozo Motley have become the media darlings of East LA, Barrio Phenoms. Their first record came out only a year and a half ago, but their pagers have been humming ever since. National exposure and industry praise have LA's homegrown on a major role. The house party in motion that is Ozo Motley actually began seated in a month-long sit-down strike protesting poor working conditions at a local service organization.
What I call a poverty pimp.
Barrio-raised Jewish bassist Will Dog was the ringleader.
Basically started out of the riots called the Los Angeles Conservation Corps. So we started a union, and through that we lost our jobs. And I basically just called a lot of musicians up, and it's like, come down and jam for this cause, you know?
Soon enough, jam sessions between protesters produced a groove ensemble as diverse as the politics that brought it together. Ulises Bella, tenor sax. Red Diaper Baby thrives on anarchy and chaos with an eclectic taste in music for the masses. Hiro Yamaguchi, tablas, bongos. Ozo, Prince of Percussion, delivers rock raga vibe after schooling in Indian music. Astru Sierra, trumpet and vocals. Latest in a long line of salsa-soaked familia. Raul Pacheco, guitar and vocals. Former political consultant kicks his heels at the drop of a 10-gallon hat. Justin Poré, drums. Music magnet school graduate worked Disneyland's Lion King parade, still recognized. Cut Chemist, turntables. Matli's master of scratch moonlights with old school hip-hop outfit Jurassic 5. Charlie Tuna, vocals. Dropping knowledge double duty on Ozo and J5 too. When their sounds of salsa, samba, hip-hop, and funk come together on stage, it is music in the future tense. A global block party and political groove fest. Music with a message, and maybe most important, with a beat.
Antagonistic, plastic, coming from a place where these cops get their ass kicked. The last trick unified was the cornerstone. A lyric crystal to the dome is how we wanna clone, born alone.
We'll have more on Ozo Motley, never afraid to state their considered opinion, and Alejandra Guzman, who is not afraid to live the rock and roll life. And lots more music as Latin Rock Revolution continues on UPN 13.
Sin flores, un pobre diablo con dientes de oro. Hombre, se sube por la pata, con su paso lento, sin saber nada. Las palabras de Florian fueron tan puras que me hicieron evitar el muerto. El 48 tumba hacia el deseo criminal, levitando se hizo fuego y se esfumó. El diablo, el diablo, el diablo. dos, tres, un pepeo, se llama el bully. Está peludo a la barriga y en su espalda parece un bosque. Pero hay feo chanto, que feo, míralo, míralo. Para como lo baila, para como goza, para como bailando, míralo, míralo. El otro día lo fue pegando una changa bonita, como baila con su changa peluda, changa fea, míralo.
And now, get ready to rock with the hottest bands this side of the border as we present the Latin Rock Revolution right now.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Guitar Center on Sunset Boulevard and Latin Rock Revolution on UPN 13. Ozo Motley is both the most political band in our show and perhaps the most playful. Here's more on their story with Gustavo Rex.
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
LA's Oso Motley joins a distinguished school of California-grown political bands like War, NWA, Jane's Addiction, and Rage Against the Machine. The name Oso Motley comes from the Aztec god of dance, and do they ever. But listen closely and you'll hear a subtle warning about the lessons of history on Como Ves, or a reminder on coming war that the revolution will be televised. And Ozo puts their politics where their wallets are. They each could have retired on the offer one beer company made for the group's endorsement.
We can imagine like one kid out there that we caused to become an alcoholic, in their life.
Even turned down an offer to record original music for the new animated feature, The Road to El Dorado.
Partly because of the sensitivity to that issue, especially I think what a lot of us feel is sometimes is a misrepresentation of history that Hollywood sometimes has.
Support for the disenfranchised and politically mobilized remains their primary mission, and you'll find the group playing gigs small and large, free of charge, for a good cause.
We didn't really perform as a band, but we were more performing in the demonstration for the Justice for Genders thing in downtown LA. We marched all around the city with them and basically just brought big drums and a lot of horns, and we were kind of the soundtrack to the demonstration.
What makes Ozo Motley truly unique among new music is not just a good cause and a good beat, but the gathering of tribes that makes it all happen. Where else can you hear a soaring rap about nightsticks to the brain and actually dance to it? When Ozo cooks, the melting pot simmers.
Está peludo a la barriga y en su espalda parece un bosque. Pero hay feo chanto, que feo, míralo, míralo. Para como lo baila, para como goza, para como bailando, míralo, míralo. El otro día lo fue pegando una changa bonita, como baila con su changa peluda, changa fea, míralo. Feo, míralo, míralo. Para como baila, para como goza, para como bailando. Feo, míralo, míralo. Se llama Will Dog, está peludo hasta la barriga y en su nalga parece un
Alejandra Guzman. Outlandish, provocative, funny, and beautiful. She makes no apologies for who she is or for her lust for life. The daughter of rock and roll pioneer Enrique Guzman. Alejandra is a second-generation star, an Aquarian born in the age of Aquarius. Her loyal fans know her as the Queen of Rock and Roll.
Searching for artist. Alejandra Guzman. Downloading. Search complete.
Alejandra Guzman gave her debut performance at 2 months of age on her parents' television show Silvia y Enrique.
No sé, aprendí mucho de mi madre, aprendí mucho de mis clases de teatro con José Luis Ibáñez.
Schooled in tap, ballet, and jazz, Alejandra is clearly a show business child. Performing as a backup singer, appearing in soap operas and commercials while still in high school, her desire to shine couldn't be denied. After graduation, she dedicated herself to what she loves the most, singing. The success of Alejandra's parents did little to help her reach her own musical goals.
Para hacer algo, tienes que creer en ti.
Undaunted, her persistence paid off when Miguel Blasco produced her first record, Bye Mama, released in 1989. Like the late Janis Joplin, Alejandra's passionate stage presence, along with her charisma and talent, quickly won her a passionate and devoted following.
Saber, ¿no? La gente es la que lo sin
The next 10 years would bring many things her way, some good and some not so good.
Pues me siento muy bien porque estoy en un momento en mi vida muy distinto. O sea, creo que llegué a una etapa que nunca había vivido.
Through all of it, Alejandra continues to give fresh and exciting performances. Additionally, she has accomplished what few performers ever do: live her life in the public eye with no apologies.
Estoy bien conmigo, estoy haciendo ejercicio, estoy alimentándome de cosas buenas.
We're living La Vida Loca with Lauren next, out on the town. And then Los Lobos, recorded live at Fiesta Broadway.
Ay, Anselma, 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 chaparra de mis penares, o deja que te visite.
And we'll spend some time with Saúl Hernández and Juárez. Welcome back to Latin Rock Revolution. I'm Jose Solano. My partner Lauren Sanchez took us back through the history of rock and pop in Español a little earlier. And now she's looking ahead, towards the future, or at least next weekend, for the best places to chill with these hot sounds.
It's the Rock and Español club scene, and as you can see, it is happening. In places like this, the Baby Rock in downtown Los Angeles, Angelinos can hang out, party, and dance to their favorite music. You can find clubs that feature Rock and Español in almost any part of the Southland, from Orange County all the way to the Valley. But it wasn't always like this. Most of the Rock and Español aficionados are not recent immigrants, but young, middle-class, educated Latinos.
Cinco Mosqueteros started promoting Spanish rock 8 years ago.
Speaking of concerts, many clubs hold live concerts with the most popular local and international bands to further attract patrons.
And we also do concerts during the week with international acts from all over.
club scene headed?
We're planning to open up more clubs in California, and maybe even taking Rock en Español. I know it's strong in Chicago and it's strong in Las Vegas. Maybe opening up a club up there and catering to Rock en Español, exclusively to Rock en Español.
Nowadays, the scene has become a profitable business in which major sponsors are targeting this demographic.
Nightclubs have been an important factor for Rock en Español, and thanks to that we have been able to close major sponsorship deals with corporations such as Pepsi, Coors, among others, for concerts.
So in the end, it's the music that matters, and Rock en Español has the rhythm that's going to get you. So if you're into the scene, curious about it, or just want to hang out and dance, well, rock on. I'm Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren, I'm there, baby. To dance is to live. Why didn't she take me to those clubs? Well, our next performers played all those rooms on their way to the top. Now they tour the world, but they've never forgotten their roots. Fresh from Fiesta Broadway, it's Los Lobos de Este de Los Angeles.
Soy la autoridad. Ay, Anselma, 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 chaparra de mis penares, o deja que te visite, o te mando a los gendarmes.
Wow, how awesome were they? Thanks to Los Lobos and all of the groups appearing on Latin Rock Revolution. In 1997, Saul Hernandez and a group of family and close friends spent 2 weeks exploring the ancient coral reefs off Mexico's Caribbean coast. His time there would become the inspiration for Los Jaguares' latest album, Searching for Artists. Jaguares. Downloading. Search complete.
when I started to write the record, the songs of this record, I was imagining all that things that we don't understand, at least it's here in our minds. And it became more clear when I was scuba diving in Cancun, in Playa, and suddenly the floor ends, and this is the abyss. And that's the first time I saw the real blue mystery, and that the association, that was the moment that I started to connect.
The poetry and music of Saúl Hernández often conjure the enormity of our universe and the human race's small, transient place in it. Contrast Los Jaguares' stature in the world of progressive Latin music, both monumental and enduring.
The first thing that I heard from Jaguares was a demo tape of Saúl's songs. And my first impression was that this doesn't sound like anything else I've heard. I can't say this is like U2, this is like Bruce Springsteen or whatever, you know. And that's really the thing that a record producer looks for.
Mexico has been a one-party democracy since the 1919 revolution, and for years its repressive social policies kept the music of rebellion underground, literally. In the 1970s, basements and garages and underground factories, Los Funkis, or funky holes, were refuge to young musicians like Saúl, who in 1979 started his first band, Deimos.
We've grown up in that circumstance. We just tried to, like Chiapas, or like other parts of the country with the Indians, we tried to survive. Because in Mexico, like 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, or you're young and you are playing rock and roll, you're a criminal. So we learned to protect what we have. And that reflects in our songs.
Several incarnations later, Saúl was leading his newest band out of the cellar and into the streets. They called themselves Los Caifanes. Whether or not it was brazen identity theft from the goth rock Cure, only their hairdresser can tell, but Los Caifanes, big hair and all, were filling stadiums where no Mexican rock band had gone before. Their prog rock sound, in self-confessed tribute to King Crimson, Weather Report, and XTC, was weaning a generation from the radio monopoly's Banda playlist, and their message, steeped in the mysticism of Mexico's indigenous cultures, was elevating an ancient nation and electrifying the new one. In 1995, Alejandro Markovich parted ways with his bandmates, throwing Los Caifanes into turmoil and forcing the remaining members to reevaluate their mission.
I think you have to close your eyes and open your DNA and have a trip to the past, and maybe you find yourself walking in the pyramids.
Only a year after the demise of Los Caifanes, Saúl was leading Los Jaguares on a new, more mystical musical journey. The taut, muscular imagery of the name suited this new musical animal, and as an emblem of protection in ancient Mexican cultures, the jaguar represented perfectly the band's intense affinity for Mexico's downtrodden and their own fabled ancestors.
I think it's some kind of magic situation. I think you have to believe in that. Maybe we don't have that penachos and we don't have that customs, but I think it's in our blood.
With Los Jaguares, Saúl's meditations increasingly focused on the interior landscape of the mind, where the full force of the ancients' spirituality is in play. In the place where your mind resides, Saúl sings, there are no walls and no windows. You have hanging the stars and the moon.
That was just a taste of Jaguares. They'll be back to perform one of their fan favorites. Next up, meet Café Tacuba.
Antes del último sueño, una cosa Dios yo pido, segundo ser su dueño.
And we promised more maná? Well, here comes more maná. Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm Lauren Sanchez along with Jose Solano, and this is Latin Rock Revolution on UPN 13.
Café Tacuba always looked at the world and at music a little differently.
These former design and film students from suburban Mexico City began to carve their niche with genre-bending music, releasing their first recording in 1992.
Their debut blended punk, rock, hip-hop with traditional Mexican sounds and sold 40,000 copies in 2 weeks.
In subsequent CDs, they've turned the traditional wisdom about rock en español on its cabeza.
Searching for artist. Café Tacuba. Downloading. Search complete.
We had the influences from North America, from Europe, from all the Latin American traditional music, and we never thought like, okay, now why don't we try to mix techno with I don't know, with a ranchero style or something. So that's something that just happened.
Having created a fan base from constant touring, their long-awaited debut CD received 2 gold records and international exposure in France, Switzerland, and the US. Success repeated itself in 1994 with their second album, Re. Resisting classification, this album fuses every imaginable kind of music into 20 songs, which again redefined the concept of rock en español. Their collage of sounds reminds many listeners of the Beatles' White Album.
I think we don't dare to be compared to the Beatles, even though we admire their music, and something we like is that in their story they weren't scared about taking a lot of elements from pop music, classical or folk music.
Critics' response to their third release, Avalancha de Éxitos, was, they did what? Melding classic Latin songs with rock, rap, and funk, Café Tacuba continued to create a unique musical world.
From the beginning stage, we play covers from Agustin Lara, which is a Mexican composer, or different covers we made. So we thought, why don't we make like a transition album with covers that we would like to play.
The album received a Grammy nomination, and record sales for the US garnered them another gold record. Their current release, Revés Yo Soy, Backwards I Am, comprises 2 very different CDs.
The record company wasn't sure about releasing an album from Café Tacuba with no vocals at all. Suddenly, all became as a huge project that can be an instrumental record and a vocal record that could be the next step of Café Tacuba. One, the musical ideas, the other one, the songs, and that was the concept of Revés Yo Soy.
Café Tacuba, burrito, fajita.
Dame la muerte chiquita, dame la muerte pequeña, y así tal vez en tus brazos alcanzar gracia. Su esencia de alta marea, sus besos de tamarindo, sus pestañas, sus palmeras a cuyo vaivén me rindo. Dicen que usted trae las sombras y por dentro está toda herida. por si alguien le hizo daño, que dio por usted. Dicen que usted trae las sombras y por dentro está podrida. Por una noche en su lecho soy capaz de dar la vida.
We've got a special treat now. Maná is the favorite group of many rock and pop fans throughout the world. They have given us an unplugged version of a classic ranchera that they've adapted to their blend of pop and rock. So please enjoy Se Me Olvidó Otra Vez.
Probablemente ya de mí te has olvidado y sin embargo yo te seguiré esperando. No me he querido ir para ver si algún día que tú quieras volver te encuentres todavía. Por eso aún estoy en el lugar de siempre, en la misma ciudad y con la misma gente, para que tú al volver no encuentres nada extraño y sea como ayer y nunca más dejarnos. Probablemente estoy pidiendo demasiado, se me olvidaba que ya habíamos terminado, que nunca volverás, que nunca me quisiste, se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise. Por eso aún estoy en el lugar de siempre, en la misma ciudad y con la misma gente, para que tú al volver no encuentres nada extraño y sea como ayer y nunca más dejarnos. Probablemente estoy pidiendo demasiado, se me olvidaba que ya habíamos terminado, que nunca volverás, que nunca me quisiste, se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise. Se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise, se me olvidó otra vez. Se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise, se me olvidó otra vez. Se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise, se me olvidó otra vez. Se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise, se me olvidó otra vez. Que nunca volverás, que nunca me quisiste, se me olvidaba que ya habíamos terminado, que nunca volverás, que nunca me quisiste, se me olvidó otra vez, que solo yo te quise.
segment?
First segment without Shakira, it was pretty good.
Pretty good? Are you kidding me? You're kind of tough on him.
Oh, we can't top that one, right?
Well, only if you like Jaguares.
I'm sticking around. We do the same.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Latin Rock Revolution. I'm Lauren Sanchez, along with Jose Solano, and guess what? We have saved the best for last.
We've got one of the hottest groups ready to rock. Los Jaguares play in LA frequently, so keep your eyes open. That was awesome. How great are these bands?
I have to admit, they are pretty amazing. Latin Rock Revolution will be right back. Keep it right there. Thank you so much for tuning into our celebration of rock and pop in Espanol. It's been a real pleasure to present these great acts.
Latin Rock Revolution has been the first mainstream television show about this part of our culture. So you've been part of something groundbreaking tonight.
And we want to thank the Guitar Center, all of the bands, their record labels, and managers who helped tell this story.
And we hope that you enjoyed these artists as much as we have.
Yes. Now stay tuned for UPN News 13. That's next. For Jose Solano, I'm Lauren Sanchez. Buenos noches.